do it.
And guess who's next?
Right.
Rome.
Right.
A.K.A. America.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. And literal Rome too.
Yep.
You know, literal Italy.
They always gotta go.
That's what Esau did.
Yeah.
You can't get mad at Jay. Esau did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna put stuff like that.
Make a thing in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's Hellenization.
We got 10 things on the front.
Yeah, it's like,
That's that Hellenization to this
Damn,
day.
boy.
That's old. As a matter of fact, let's go to the first magazine. Let's go to the first magazine. Read about, because this new thing under the sun, man. You know, this happened with the advent, with the rise of the Edomites, the kingdom of the Greeks. And that's really when this earth started becoming really foul, man.
Yep.
When
It says, what, evils
was
multiplied in the earth.
Yep, evils was multiplied in the earth, man, through what? Through the who? The Greeks.
They can't. I mean, they took
Yeah.
over. You know, what I'm saying the Greeks, but
Yeah. They took
it's
that
all
land.
Esau.
That land was
Grecians.
Japheth.
Yeah.
That land was Japheth,
Japheth,
and the Edomites just took it over and called it their own, and then they started calling themselves the Greeks.
Yep.
Same way you call yourself Americans today, man. You ain't Americans. You Edomites, man. From the land of from the Caucasus Mountains, Mount Seir. But you know, Jake's out here calling himself African American.
Right.
You know, which is just bad. Well, like Jake was calling himself a Greek. That's why in the New Testament, the apostles are going to the Greeks. They were Israelites who call themselves Greeks. All right, you had two classes of Gentiles. All right, that's the mystery of Gentiles. You know, that's why.
Like Timothy's dad.
Right.
Father. He
Yep.
called, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
He called himself a Greek.
He was a Greek. Now he was an Israelite who spoke Greek.
Right.
That's all it was.
Right.
And he knew. And he
Yeah.
and at that time, they kind of knew.
Yeah.
Our people knew that there was Israelites there.
Yeah.
But he chose up and wanted to be a Greek.
Yeah.
Right.
Because his wife and his mother-in-law was Jewish.
Yep.
They knew they was Israelites.
Yep.
But he's like, hell no. He was like,
I'm Greek.
Greek.
Hey, Greek. Yeah.
I'm gonna line myself up. I'm gonna
go to the
swine
gymnasium.
go to the notes.
Yeah.
Yep. We're gonna celebrate all their holidays.
It's Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. That's the point right here. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. So that's what Esau Edom has done. They oppressed a man and his heritage.
Yeah.
Took Jake's heritage away.
Yeah. And he did that by force, man.
Yeah.
Because like we say, in the Babylonian captivity, you was allowed to maintain those customs.
Yeah.
You could call yourself an Israelite. You could keep the feast days, the holy days. In that Babylonian captivity. Now fast forward to the Greeks, and then you had to, hey, either you were a Greek or you were put to death, man. Hey, the same way they fixing to do it now. You're gonna have to be an American or else.
Yep.
And you're gonna have to be with this American New World Order or else.
Yeah,
You ain't gonna be able to sit back and say, well, I'm an Israelite, I can't put anything in something else. You know, they fixing to make that, not an option.
You're gonna have to join yourself with that part of the image of the beast.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you might have found out and worship his image.
Yep.
Same way you had to do back then. That's right. We just in the revived, we in the last leg of that revived Roman Empire.
This is Maccabees 1, and I'm going to join at verse 11. In those days went there out Israel, wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. So since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
So yeah, Jake, they didn't want to suffer the persecution, so they wanted to go along to get along, man. And they wanted to enjoy all the creature comforts of that empire, man.
Yeah.
You know, that was easier to do. You had just like the rebels did in the wilderness. They wanted to go back to damn Egypt. For what? For comfort.
Yep.
You know.
It says, so this device pleased them well.
Yeah.
Then certain of the people were so forward hearing that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinance of the heathen.
They took it a step further, man. They went to the king, and the king gave them a license to do after the ways of the heathen.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, and that's the majority of our people today,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
But then when you go into the book of Maccabees, I think it's the second book. It talks about, you know, what is it? The 6 or the 7 brothers.
Oh yeah.
Judas Maccabeus and his even his mother, man,
yeah.
that died because they didn't even want to touch. Have Jesus' mind.
Yeah.
And that's a representation of the elect.
That's right.
We're gonna do that. Elect gonna do the same thing in these times to come.
Yeah, because in 2 Peter 16 it says they're going to offer you things offered unto idols. And things should be an idol.
This is verse 14. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem,
Yeah.
according to the customs of the heathen,
Yeah, so the gymnasium.
and made themselves uncircumcised,
Yeah.
and forsook the holy covenant.
They were literally sewing foreskins back on, man. Bro, not only that ain't just spiritual. You know, you making yourself uncircumcised.
Yeah.
How in practice you make
fucking
yourself
rough.
uncircumcised, bro?
You
They
know-
were taking foreskins and sewing them back on, making themselves
You know
uncircumcised.
how bugged out you gotta be.
Bro,
You gotta be fucked up.
And think about, look at Jake today. Jake's out here walking around with a mask on, just knocked out.
Yeah.
Getting ready to take all those things. Yeah, man. That's what it's for.
It says, and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief.
Sold to do mischief, man. You know? They were into that Greekish fashion, man. It says, I think it's second Maccabees. Retarded. Goddamn fucking mask all over. Goddamn cone.
So we was just speaking about the Israelites that willingly chose to do that. So that's like, and then the brother brought up, you had certain men and women that were willing to be put to death to not deal with those things.
Right.
Because those things were made mandatory, man.
And look, real fast before you get into that, that shows the severity and the seriousness of following the law, namely to mess with eating pork, man. Our people, you had certain of our people that would die rather than eat pork, but now people eat pork willy-nilly. You know what I'm saying? So that shows you how serious that commandment is right there, man.
Yeah.
Not to touch, we not even supposed to touch it.
Right, because people cavalierly throw that around like, oh, it's just food.
Yeah, it's just food,
No,
yeah.
but that you define the Lord. First of all, the Lord said don't do it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like the Lord said, do not eat unclean, animals. We're not to eat final food.
Right. And that's for your benefit.
I was about to say, it's only for your health, man.
Right.
Because our people suffer from, diseases. I mean, goddamn, heart disease. Yeah, not eating those things. That's a big deal. That's something you can do for the Lord. That's an easy thing to do for the Lord.
I see that. He don't give a fuck. He got like 2 sides.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
This first Maccabees 1:43.
Gone.
Yeah, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath.
See? Man, we living in that time right now, man. Hey, if you're consenting, if you are willing to take this thing, okay, that's consenting under his religion, man.
Right.
And putting all kinds of weird things and sacrifices and putting spells on it and shit, you're consenting to his way of life, man.
God, and you got Jake out here profaning the Sabbath, man, because it's not an excuse. The Lord said to remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. So there's no excuse that you should not know according to the moon cycle when the Sabbath is, man. And you got Jake that don't know when it is and doing all type of abominations on the Sabbath, man. So the Lord is, hey, man, like the brother keeps saying, everything is repeating itself over again.
Like Jake didn't realize there was 2 Sabbaths this weekend.
Yep. And guess what? All type of damn coonery was going on.
Yep. Nothing but wickedness.
Right.
Nothing but wickedness.
Verse 44. For the king has sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah that they should follow the strange laws of the land.
Right, he wanted to follow the strange laws of the land. Strange.
That's about to repeat. The strange laws of the land is about to be give Vanessa.
Right.
Wear your mask.
That's right.
Worship. They're gonna even tell you what's God.
That's right.
Worship.
Yeah, it's going to top them draconian laws. About to be on your head.
You ever seen the movies like, they live in a society where the government run them?
Yeah.
You can't read, but I watched the movie, they going to read like 3 books. It was the Bible, like 2 other books, that's all they read. Like, watch now, read, that's what he saw.
That's right, bro. Yeah. That's all part of his, that's the beast and that's his image.
That's part of his NWO he wants to create.
Yep. You're going to have to consent or you're going to die.
So it says, for the king has sent letters by messengers to Jerusalem and the cities of Judah that they should follow the strange lands, that they should follow the strange laws of the land and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbath and festival days and pollute the sanctuary and holy people. Set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts. That they should also leave their children uncircumcised, make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanliness and profanation. So the king at that time made these things mandatory that they do. These were the things that they was telling them to do, man, and not to do.
They're gonna do it again.
And because we in Apocrypha, but you go on the 216th chapter, it's going to tell you that, man.
Because they said they made them leave their kids uncircumcised. Don't Esau Edom try to control your kids now? So they're gonna try to take you, make sure your kids get finessed. They're gonna do the same thing.
And if you don't get it, I seen them. Y'all probably seen it. That dude was saying that one of his friends that came and took his daughter because he wanted to homeschool her, and then he didn't believe in the C19 thing. So they coming for your children,
Kick the damn door down. And that's what we're going into. And this is the same thing. These was Edomites that did it back then.
Right.
That's why the Lord got that controversy with Idumean. They did it back then, and they're going to do the same thing now. It says they did it back then. They did it like a couple decades ago, and they're going to do it again. And we were talking about how they fought. Jake lost their heritage. Verse 49. Well, I'll read it again. Verse 49. To the end that they might forget the law and change all the ordinances, man.
Come on, see? You Edomites are going to pay for that, man. Y'all going to pay for that, man.
You made Jake forget.
You made Jake.
You made Jake forget, man.
And y'all did it again over here in the Americas,
That's
man.
what I'm talking about. That's why I said they
Brother
did it.
Brandon Michael,
They did, when they first brought us over here.
They took away your names.
And even took away the real image of our power and the name, and made us worship their God, man.
That's right.
They can't saturate boys here when you call Jesus Christ.
That's right.
That's crazy.
That goes into oppressing a man and his house and a man and his heritage.
Read it one more time. It says, to the end that they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. And whosoever will not do according to the commandment of the king, he should die.
You didn't have time, man. Because if you're not going to do If you're not going to do the commandment of the king of Babylon right now is Esau. So if you're going to have to do the commandment of Esau, the king of Babylon, which he's going to make you bow down, man.
Yeah. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he should die.
Yep. And then that's going to come into full force when the MOTB gets mandated. That's the ultimate form of bowing down. By getting that MOTB, you're basically saying that Esau is your power, is your God. But hey, but the scriptures also say that the Lord reserved to Himself 7 men that have bowed their knee to Baal. Man. You know what I'm saying? So,
verse 51.
You got to get that out of this. Yeah, see, it ain't all bad news with that, because the Lord has an election, man. He's always had an election. He always had men of integrity, men of valor, who wasn't down with that, man.
Right.
You know, throughout all these different captivities, who didn't bow. Right. Who wouldn't even, like you said, bro. Think about that. Getting your scalp ripped off your head because you don't want to eat raw with pork in it.
Yeah.
How many Jake have the integrity to sit here and say no?
Jake that's a light thing. Oh,
Right.
I'm getting a free meal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's all I got to do.
Yeah.
That's it.
And then those men had integrity, man. The Lord always had those men. He always had those men that did not bow down to that.
Verse 51. In the self same manner wrote he to his whole kingdom